3 business skills you must have in order to see results in 2026. To rewind like 7 years ago, I watched my first business completely collapse on me. It wasn't because I had a bad idea. It wasn't because I was not working hard. I was working like 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. You see, the problem was much bigger than that. I realized that I didn't have these 3 critical skills that, no one's ever told me about. And these skills, they have nothing to do with sales or marketing or any of that stuff that you actually hear on YouTube. And here's the thing, all the successful entrepreneurs that I know, they have these 3 skills. And the ones that don't, well, they're the ones that still continue to struggle with the same problems they had like 2 years ago. So if you're looking to start your first business, or you already have a business, but you're struggling to see the results that you actually want to have, then I want you to stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna break down exactly what these skills are, why they matter, and how you can actually master them. Because once you do, everything else becomes that much easier. All right, skill number 1, you need to get comfortable making decisions when you don't have all the information available. Let me explain what I mean by this. Most people, when they think about starting out a business, they actually just wait. They wait until the perfect moment. They wait until they do all the research. They wait until they research everything, until they're 100% sure that this is going to work. But here's the truth. Business is not like that. You can't have all the right information all the time. Business is uncertain. You can't predict how customers will react. You can't predict how your competitors will move or what they would do. And you can't predict the economic, trends and the economy and all that. And on a lot of that stuff, you can't predict with 100% accuracy. So what do successful entrepreneurs actually do? What they do is they take the information that they have and they make the best informed decision with all the data they have available. And that's it. They move forward. They don't freeze. They don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. So think about it this way. Let's just say that you want to launch your own product, right? You can either do one of 2 things. One is you can spend 6 months doing the market research, putting together your campaign, creating the perfect business plan, analyzing every possible scenario. Or scenario number 2 is you can spend 2 weeks validating your core offer, put together a minimal viable product, and just test it in the real world and see what happens. The second scenario, well, that's how you learn fast. Now, I'm not saying that you should be reckless. I'm not saying that you should make random decisions without actually thinking and then, processing. But what I am saying is that you need to develop the ability to gather enough information, not all the information, to make an informed decision, and then trust yourself to make that call even though when you're not 100% certain. Because here's what happens when you develop this skill set. You can start moving faster than your competition. While they're stuck in analysis paralysis, you're out there testing, you're out there learning, you're out there growing, and you're out there getting momentum. And momentum, that's everything in business. So the key is to recognize that inaction is also an action, a decision. And it's typically usually one of the worst decisions you can ever take. So every day you wait is another day of you not learning, another day of you not growing, and another day of you not progressing towards your actual goal. All right, skill number 2, and this one is massive, especially if you're going to be a solopreneur, or maybe you're just gonna start out with a smaller team. This is going to be really crucial for you, and I call it self-management. Now, when most people hear self-management, they think about like time management or like productivity or some kind of time hacks, and those are great, but I'm actually gonna be talking about something much deeper than that. I'm gonna be talking about your ability to be able to actually just show up day after day consistently when no one's watching, when nothing goes your way, when you don't feel like it, and all you want to do is just go back to bed and just sleep, and when things aren't progressing the way you like or hope it would to be. Because here's the thing about being an entrepreneur. There's no boss. There's no boss telling you exactly what to do. There's no HR department that's going to, make sure you hit your quotas. And there's going to be no performance review at the end of the year for you to be able to self-reflect and actually look at how to improve being told by someone else. And that freedom, it's amazing, right? But it's also very scary, because that means you have to be your own manager, your own accountability partner, and your own motivator. Let me give you an example. Let's just say you're gonna build an online business. You need to create content consistently. You need to reach out to prospects every day. You also need to know that you need to improve your product. But here's the thing, it's a Tuesday morning, you wake up, you don't feel energetic, you don't feel inspired, you don't feel like you want to do anything. And Netflix is right there. Your friends, they text you and they're like, hey, let's go hang out, let's meet up, let's do something, right? This is the moment that separates a successful entrepreneur from everyone else. Can you still show up? Can you still do the work? Can you still put in the effort when it's hard? And here's the thing, most people that don't realize, motivation is not reliable. It just comes and goes, like a fugazi, it's like fugazi. is pixie dust. It doesn't exist. What you actually need instead is discipline and systems. You need to create structures in your life that makes it easier to do the work. So maybe that's like blocking off specific hours in a day so you can do focused work. Maybe it's having a morning routine that gives you the right mindset. Maybe it's setting up accountability with a friend or a mentor if you have one. But beyond system, you also need to develop the emotional regulation. You need to be able to manage your own stress. You need to be able to manage your own doubts, your own fears, because entrepreneurship is an emotional roller coaster. It really is, okay? It's all up here. One of my favorite quotes is mind over matter. So there are gonna be days when things are not gonna go, your way. There are gonna be days where things go amazingly well, weeks, months, doesn't matter. And you're gonna have great days, but you're also gonna have bad days. And the days where you don't feel great and the bad days, that's when everything makes a difference. And if you can't manage your emotional state, you're gonna make bad decisions, you're gonna give up too early, and then you're just going to eventually burn out. So self-management is ultimately about self-awareness and self-discipline working together. And you need both. You need to know yourself well enough to understand what you need, and you need the discipline to be able to actually give yourself those things when it's inconvenient, because nothing's gonna go your way all the time. So being able to have that emotional ability up here and here to actually manage and get up and do the work makes all the difference. Here's the last skill, and it's actually one of the most important ones of all. You need to learn how to fail productively. Now, everyone talks about failure being a part of entrepreneurship. Everyone would say, fail forward, fail fast, but no one actually teaches you how to do it properly. I'm gonna teach you how to fail properly, because here's the reality. You're going to fail. Not once, twice, 3 times, you're gonna fail a lot. Your first product, your first service you're gonna build, it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna fail. Your first marketing campaign is probably not gonna go viral. Your first customer you're gonna talk to is probably not gonna buy. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. It's gonna happen. You're gonna waste a lot of money. You're gonna waste a lot of time. You're gonna feel like an idiot sometimes, but that's okay. That's all normal. It's part of the business process. But where most people go wrong is how they actually respond to that failure. They either get defensive or make excuses, or they internalize it and start thinking that they're not cut out for this. Neither of those are responses that are gonna be productive and beneficial to you as you grow. So what you need to do instead is treat every failure as a piece of data, something that you can take away, all these mistakes as feedback. Every setback is your learning opportunity. So let me give you an example. Let's say you launch a product and nobody buys it, right? You're gonna freak out, like, oh my God, this is not gonna work. That's failure to you, right? Most people at this point will get discouraged and might actually just give up. But a skilled entrepreneur, which I want you to be, looks at this differently. They ask different sets of questions. They ask, why didn't they buy? Was it because of my positioning? No. Was it because of the pricing? Was it because of the audience I was targeting? Is my marketing message not really reaching the right people? Can I change up the funnel, the website, or the languaging? So instead of taking it personally, they look at it constructively, they're analyzing it objectively, and they're extracting the lesson. So you need to figure out what to do next, as opposed to saying, this is a failure and no one's gonna buy my product. So this is how you iterate your way to success. You try something, you see what happens, and then you learn from it and you improve on it, you adjust, and then you do it over and over again, because business never stops. And here's the beautiful thing about developing this specific skill set. It makes you much stronger. It makes you more fearless, not in a reckless way, but in a confident way, because you know that even though if something that doesn't work out, usually it never works out the way you want it, you're gonna learn from it. You're gonna be better, you're gonna get stronger, and you're gonna be smarter next time, because failure stops being so scary to something that you avoid at all costs, and that it becomes something that you actually enjoy, so you can take that data, you can improve. Because if you enjoy improving and growing, you become a successful entrepreneur. All right, so now you know the 3 skills, but knowledge without action is completely useless. So here's what I want you to do this week, okay? 3 steps. Step 1, make a decision you've been putting off for a while. Give yourself 1 hour to think about it, then make the call and move forward. Don't look back. Step 2, set up 1 daily block, just 1 hour, same time, every single day, where you work on your business with 0 distractions. You put it on your calendar and you treat it like it's a non-negotiable. And lastly, step 3, do one thing that scares you. Okay, underline the word scares you. Launch something small, reach out to a customer, post that piece of content, then write down what you learned about it. And that's it. 3 simple steps, 1 decision, 1 daily habit, 1 scary decision. You do these 3 things and I promise you, you feel much different than who you were before you actually do any of this. And you have much more momentum. And like I said earlier, momentum in business is everything. And you actually have proof that you are capable of being able to do this and grow. And then next week, all you do is you just do it again and again until you build the reps. It's like going to the gym, right? You build the reps until you get comfortable, you get used to it. And I know this isn't easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If entrepreneurship and business was that easy, then every single person out there would be successful, but they're not. So that's exactly why these skills, what I'm sharing in this video, are so valuable, because they're the one that's going to separate the people that's actually building something from the people who's just going to get by and eventually end up closing down. So you have everything you need to start right now. Not tomorrow or not next week, not when conditions are perfect, when you have the perfect moment, but right now. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to this action plan. Commit to your own success. Commit to putting in the work and see what happens in the next 30 days. Now, if you're serious about your business, your results, and your success, then I want you to subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to continue to give you real practical advices that you can use in any industry that you choose to be able to build a successful business week after week. So with that being said, let's win together. And I want you to actually watch this video right now, because I'm sure it's also going to help you grow much faster.